Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, bringing you another Star Citizen video. In today's video, I just want to say Happy 4th of July to all you Americans out there. I know my whole channel is not made up of just Americans, but Happy 4th of July to everybody out there. You don't have to be an American to appreciate the holiday and what it really stands for. So I hope that each and every one of you have a very happy 4th, that you get to spend it with family, friends. I know with COVID-19 still rearing its ugly head and really attacking the United States right now, that's a little bit more difficult. So you guys be safe out there while you're doing your family activities. Still practice social distancing and all that good stuff, please. But yeah, I wanted to bring a video today because I missed a day this week, and I thought, well, I shouldn't be missing any more days if I can help it, at least not for a little while. And I wanted to get this video out. I am preparing my cherish expedition for an expedition, and that's pretty much all this video was really showing. So let's talk about some other things. 3.10. It is still not in the Wave 1 PTU. I was hoping it would be out 2 weeks ago on Wave 1 PTU. That failed. I was hoping last week it would be out Wave 1 PTU. That too failed. This week? No, not so much. So we are still waiting on 3.10 to even hit Wave 1 PTU. What is Wave 1 PTU? Well, Wave 1 PTU means that it's going beyond the initial Evocati testers. The Evocati testers are a group of, if you want to call them super testers, that get to test the game out for the public prior to any kind of release to a wider audience. So you got CIG, they do their internal testing, and then they need a lot more, I guess, eyes and ears to test out all the other stuff that's been brought into the game. So it goes to the Evocati group. The Evocati group is made up of, well, probably more than 1,000 at this point. It's a fairly large group that do some strict testing. So CIG may say, well, we just put bartenders in the game. We want you to test every possible bartender you come across. We want you to test out their functions, watch them, see if the animations are right, blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. So yeah, the Evocati will test that out, and then they'll say, okay, well, we've got some great feedback from you guys. Thank you for putting these in the issue council, etc. We will move on those, and now we want you to test the fixed weaponry, and the new targeting systems out. So Evocati will focus on those particular test subjects, and they will test that and test that and test that, and then they'll put out whatever feedback that they need to CIG. After CIG is comfortable with all the feedback they've gotten and some changes that they've made, then they will make a decision on whether or not the game is in a good state or a good enough state to open it up to even more testers. So beyond Evocati, you'll get a group, which is the Wave 1 group, which is made up of subscribers and concierge members. Concierge members are $1,000 or more in the game. Subscribers are members who have purchased either a $10 or $20 a month subscription to the game, which gives them access to all sorts of stuff, including Wave 1. So in Wave 1, they aren't focused on those individual things. Now, Evocati could still be focused on certain things. I have heard that CIG may do that. Generally, they're on a separate server when they do that, but sometimes not. And Wave 1 will just be testing everything out. It's almost like playing the game on the Persistent Universe Live version. But they will be, seeing what bugs that they encounter. And usually it's in Wave 1 for usually about a week. And those Wave 1 testers will see if they come up with any additional bugs that weren't there before. So after Evocati and Wave 1, it will go to the wide PTU, the persistent test universe. And this is where anybody can get on the test universe and play the newer version of the game, or the patched version of the game. In this case, that's be 3.10. So everybody would be playing that. And it usually doesn't stay in PTU for very long. A lot of times it's only a matter of a few days. Sometimes it has reached over a week if there's some really, really nasty bugs that CIG want to fix before they release it to live. But yeah, there's always more testing that needs to be done, and more eyes and ears that they can get on it will definitely help, resolve some of those issues. So here's the question. We know what it takes to get into Wave 1. What's it take to get into Evocati? Well, they have stated multiple times that Evocati are people who, like to play the game a lot, and they give a lot of feedback on the issue council, probably in Spectrum, different places like that. You can definitely get into the Evocati. They are always bringing in new people, but you got to make sure you're, I guess, vocal. You're putting things out on the issue council. You find bugs, you put them in there, and people upvote it, and all of that. So you need to be pretty effective as a gameplay tester. So that's how you would get into Evocati. I am not going to make any predictions this time on when 3.10 will come out. I still think and hope that it'll be out this next week, but I am not going to make any promises, obviously. It's just kind of up in the air. From what I heard, there's 2 or 3 major blockers that are keeping them from putting it out to Wave 1 or the PTU or even going live. I think they really, really want to hammer down some of the 30Ks, some of the other issues that have come about. When they do a new patch like this, it sometimes brings back bugs from previous patches. They have become a lot more effective at squashing those bugs, so it does take time to still do them, but they can do it a lot quicker. But they do inevitably come back up when they add something new to the game. It breaks something else, so they have to deal with a lot of that stuff when putting out a new version or new patch for Star Citizen. As you can see here, I am arriving at Edmond. Here it's about, I think, 68, 70 kilometers from Lorville. It's a little base that you can go to, and I like to go here and pick up my ground vehicles and stuff. Anyways, yeah, so that's where I think we're at in testing at the moment. I hope that we'll be able to get that 3.10 out in the next week or two to everybody, and maybe live. That would be awesome. But don't hold your breath, guys. Are you enjoying 3.9 at all? How many of you have experienced more 30Ks towards the back end of it? Or are you experiencing less 30Ks? I can tell you from my experience that I have gotten a lot less 30Ks as we get closer to 3.10, which is highly unusual. Usually whenever we're going into a new patch, there's a lot more server issues. You see a lot more bugs and things like that because they're not really focused on maintaining the current server the way it is. But this time around, I haven't gotten that. I have actually seen some significant time in-game without getting a 30K. Now, one thing that does bug the crap out of me that I have been frequently encountering that is somewhat related to back end, when I decide I want to do a cargo run and I get to one of my main places to go and I get to the terminal and pull up the terminal, I have no commodities that I can buy. That irritates the crap out of me. It just irritates me. And then what I'll do is I'll try to server hop. So I'll go back to my bed on my Carrack or my Caterpillar and log off, wait a few minutes, then log back into the game, go back to the terminal, and again, nothing there. So I'll try to fly to a different terminal, and nothing there. So, how many of you guys are experiencing that commodity bug where they just aren't showing up on the server that you're on? Does server hopping help you? I have seen that in the comments of one of my videos before, as I try to server hop and it should right itself or go across the system and somewhere else will have commodities. But I can tell you from personal experience that is not the case. At least it hasn't been for me. You know, I haven't been server hopping for hours at a time to, you know, pretty much test every server possible. But I've tried the server hopping, I've tried flying across the system, and I just haven't had good results on having commodities spawn at locations where I can buy them. That's one of the reasons why you're seeing me load up my cherish with some vehicles and stuff like that in preparation for Saturday night org ops, which tonight, since it's July 4th, we are only doing an unofficial org op because, you know, like I said, people should spend time with family. Some people are seeing fireworks, etc. like that. So I probably won't even spend that much time in game myself because my wife would like to watch the fireworks too. So we will see how all that turns out tonight. But I was trying to do something to prepare for whatever eventuality we have for an org op tonight. We, as an org, usually have some sort of homebrew op that we do on Saturday nights. And, you know, we try to scale it for, you know, 20 or more people. Sometimes we get 20, sometimes we don't, sometimes we get more. So we just try to make whatever op we do fairly scalable. We usually split up in teams, at least at the first part of the evening. And, you know, we have 2 teams go at it, whether it's in space, on the ground, you know, whatever we decide to do. A lot of times we do something like capture the cherish. Sometimes we might say capture the captain. Sometimes we may have a aerial battle, and then once the aerial battle is over, we do phase 2, where we have one team defending a black box, another team attacking. Those are pretty fun ops as well. I mean, we've done all sorts of different ops, you know, where we pit one team against another. It's a lot of fun, and it kind of gives everybody a chance to play together and have a loose organizational command structure. When I say loose, I mean we are not quite to the point where we need to start worrying about a hardcore command structure for military units. The game's just not at that point yet where we really need to worry about that. I know some orgs do, and some orgs do a fantastic job of it, but our org is just not quite to that point yet. We're kind of waiting for theaters of war before we start pushing some of those things and seeing how well it works out for us. And we're Texans, so it's going to be kind of loose to begin with. It's just the nature of, you know, our culture. Loose and fun, fast and furious, whatever you want to call it. Plus, this is a game, guys. It's not real life. You know, we want people to have fun, and that's the main goal. So, we do have fun with our org ops, and if you guys are interested in joining the org, you can do that. That information's down below in the description of this video. We're definitely recruiting, and you too can have some fun in the org op nights. The more the merrier. You know, it'd be nice if we filled up an entire server, we had it to ourselves. That would be super awesome. So don't be scared to join the org. You don't have to be, you know, Texas doesn't have to be your main org. You can be an affiliate if you want. Hopefully you'll choose us as a main somewhere down the road. But we do have plenty of affiliates in the org as well that complement our main staff, if you want to call it that, or our main members. So definitely look for that. If you guys like the way this game looks, and it's not a game you've ever played before, or you know, something you may be interested in playing, I have a referral code down below in the description as well. If you use that referral code, you get a bonus 5,000 credits when you purchase the game, your first package. I think it's got to be a $40 package for the referral code to count for me. But you know, check that out. It's a lot of fun. This game is going to be one of the best games ever. It's going to be super awesome. I think everybody's going to love it when it comes out. Well, most everybody. There will be a lot less haters when it finally comes out. And it will come out. So, guys, I also want to take time to thank my Patreon and my YouTube members for contributing to this channel. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you to all you guys who have been watching my videos. You guys are awesome as well. I can't fathom how I've grown to where I am today. Thank you so much. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy. I'll see you out in the verse.